So is that whole you gotta wait 48 hours or whatever before you work a muscle group again complete just bro science BS? And what about like things of different nature like calisthenics versus weight training or isometrics or micro workouts? Do you have to apply the same rest interval? And how long do you really have to rest and recover in order to make gains? Now, I used to be one of those guys who was always like, oh no, never work a muscle group 2 days in a row and stuff. But now, if you ask me how much you need to rest and recover, how often you can do like a particular workout, my answer is, well, just do it as much as you want. You want to do it once a week? Great. You want to work it every day? Great too. And I can already sense people are hovering their cursor over that thumbs down arrow on this video because I used to be the same type of individual who was like, but Matt, you only get results when you recover, and you have to recover from your workouts. Well, are you sure about that? So, first and foremost, no, you do not need to recover from working out. Because a workout is, after all, an imaginary construct that we humans invented and exists almost purely in our imagination to basically quantify physical activity. So, no, you don't need to recover from working out because working out isn't actually a real thing. It's just a label we placed on physical activity. Instead, you have to recover from stress and fatigue. And the more stress and fatigue you accumulate from your workouts, the more recovery you need. But the problem is that stress and fatigue is very subjective. So there's a million things that come into play with how much stress and fatigue you have from one workout to the next. There's how much muscle you're using, your intensity, your duration, how conditioned you are to the exercise, mental state, emotional state, physical state, your weather. I mean, there's a million variables. So trying to give you one cookie cutter answer of rest 48 hours is really just a blind estimated guess at best. Well, let's truly get real about this whole you get results when you recover kind of idea, because it's actually based on a very old yet somewhat flawed premise of how we think training and exercise actually works. See, the old way of thinking about it is you work out in order to create that stress and fatigue. And when you recover, you have this recovery process. When the body recovers, there's something called supercompensation, where you get a little tiny itty bitty bit bigger, faster, and stronger. And it's that supercompensation that leaves your body in a slightly better condition than when you started. But the problem with this thing is that everybody who ever works out causes stress and fatigue. Everybody, every workout, every time. And there's always going to be recovery for everybody, every workout, every time. Yet, why don't people always get results from every workout for everybody every time? The reason why working out can make you bigger and faster and stronger isn't because it causes stress, and it isn't because you have recovery. It's something slightly different. Instead of thinking stress, it's about stimulus, instructions that are being fed into your body and how it needs to perform, and then adaptation. Basically, your body is adjusting and changing according to that stimulus. So when we come back to that question, how much do you really need to recover? How much do you really need to rest? Or how often can you do a workout? Because your whole point or objective with your workouts is to create a progressive, hopefully, stimulus, or at least a productive stimulus. So if I've got these rows, I'm guaranteed to work my muscle. But am I going to do this just a little bit better than before to create a progressive stimulus that therefore gives me the chance of that adaptation with supercompensation? Of course, if you have questions, which you may very well have after that, down below in the comments is where I can address those. Of course, check out my other video. That's the other half of this, of how long does a workout really need to be in order to be effective, which covers that stimulus thing a little bit more in depth. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Be fit, live free.